What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Filsinger Games Character Spotlight with Mike and Brock.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Brock. And today we'll continue our journey through War Games 2091 with Tendron the Destroyer and, whoops, I almost did it right, the Serpent Unman, formerly known as Reptillo.
Yeah, two of the more interesting looking guys.
Yes.
I think we'll start off with the Serpent Unman.
Okay.
Now, I do like what they did with the color, and they just tried to, on his color photos, and they just brought, the Reptillo look to the Serpent Unman look, even his clothing and all that.
Yeah. You can definitely tell it's the same guy.
Yeah.
Which is nice. So I won't accidentally team them together.
Yeah. As upgrades go, it was an upgrade.
Yes.
He went from a 1-point wrestler for me to a 2-point wrestler. And he captured his first gold. He won my Milky Way title, which is my my low level tier title.
Oh wow.
He captured it one time.
Yeah, looking at his card, he's pretty decent. I didn't use him very much because this is around the time where I was really playing rapid fire.
Yeah.
So looking at his card, his strangulation finisher is interesting because it caused an injury.
Yeah, I didn't. He's one of these guys. I don't think I used him a whole lot. He's a character I just couldn't get behind.
Yeah.
I don't even know who I had him paired up with. I think I might even, looking at his stuff.
He teamed with the Bounty Hunter on his debut year as the Night Stalkers. I'm looking at his bio right now.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I had him feud U.S. Patriot when he first turned.
Okay.
And he lost.
They should be pretty evenly matched, though.
Yeah. Yeah, they were.
This guy definitely got DQ'd a lot.
And he wasn't the Serpent Unman for very long.
No, he got upgraded again in 2094.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years, right?
3 years later, yep.
Yeah.
Became the Doomsday Creature.
Yeah, he was just somebody, he was there. I think he got lost in the shuffle at one point because there were so many guys. And I didn't care if I used him a lot or not.
Yeah.
Looking at his card, I keep his cards. In 2094, when he became Doomsday Creature, he won Most Improved Wrestler of the Year.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, that was a big upgrade.
Yeah. But yeah, he did nothing.
I actually kind of felt bad for him.
Well, yeah, he was the I think I had him turn bad for a year and then he became good, and then the fans just got behind him. His turn was he was misunderstood. He wanted to get better, and it didn't work out. He became like a Frankenstein type monster.
Was he the first guy to go through the Trans Evolver?
Well, technically no, because that'd be Tung Soon.
Okay. He went from human to lizard man.
Yeah.
Okay. He just went from lizard man to more of a lizard man.
Yeah. And I'm not too sure if Tendron went through the Transvolver.
I'm looking at his bio. I don't see any mention of the Transvolver.
Okay.
He went through a scalp transplant to save Tendron's life. We'll get to him, I guess.
Scalp transplant.
A scalp transplant.
Okay.
You didn't know that was a thing, did you?
No.
We just call them toupees now, but
Yeah.
in the future, we can do scalp transplants. Good stuff.
Yeah, so as a Doomsday, as a Serpent Unman, he didn't do a whole lot. Like I said, I think he just got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, he definitely did for me. Of the Animen, he was probably the least cool to begin with.
Yeah.
And then this made him even less cool, I guess. Like I said, I was always very sympathetic of him. Like he was just trying, like you said, he was trying to better himself.
Yep.
And it just had a really bad effect on him.
Yeah, I think I kept him as a good guy, as a Serpent Unman, because he was trying to better himself, and it was playing with his mind. So he feuded Mr. Galaxy here. Oh, that's right, yeah. So he feuded Mr. Galaxy here.
Okay.
And then I turned him bad.
Okay.
So I had him where he tried, but the monster was slowly taking him over. So then he turned bad, and then he went full Doomsday Creature the year after.
Okay. I love the Doomsday Creature art, but we'll talk about that later.
So I did have a small storyline for him, and that was it, where he just, tried to better himself. He wanted to keep up with, Wolf and Badger and Ram and Iron Man. Like he was falling behind.
All those guys are, stars. So, and he was just there, kind of along for the ride. So I would understand why, he would do something to put his body in jeopardy to try and compete with his, hang with his teammates, I guess, rather.
Yeah, they were capturing gold left, right, and center, and he's getting the participation trophy.
Yeah. Poor little guy.
That's what I think I had to do. He went through it, trying to improve himself, and it was slowly driving him insane. So I had him feud Mr. Galaxy. So he was still a bad guy, and then he went, and he lost to Galaxy, which pushed him over the edge.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah, feuded the Patriot, and then he feuded Wolf.
Wow.
Yeah, that's when he was the Doomsday Creature, though.
Okay. That makes a little more sense.
Yep.
Yeah, looking at his card here, he likes to attack the eyes. He's got a spitting eye, a face rake, spitting eye, thumb to the eye, bite to the eye. He tries to blind people. He's got a lot of bites too. He's got bite to arm, bite to forehead, bite to eye, as I mentioned. So
DQ6.
DQ6, and he's getting DQ'd a lot. He's got an animal axe handle instead of an Animan axe handle. So that's probably just a play on him becoming more animalistic as this character.
And his finisher was a +2, wasn't it?
Yep, with a disqualification and injury. So he probably got DQ'd a lot just trying to use his finisher. And there was no alternative for one without a DQ.
What was his power and agility back then?
Agility was +1, power was +2. So
he got slower but stronger. Because he was a 0 agility, I think, before, with like a +4 or +3 power.
I could probably find. I have them here, I think.
And I think he improved to a B ring from a C ring.
See, I got them both right here. Yep, C to B on ring, but he went from a B to C in death jump and turnbuckle as well. He always had the DQ6 though, so he got DQ'd a lot even as a good guy. His defense looks like it actually got worse.
Yeah, like I said, he was I had him go from a +1 to a +2 wrestler, but his pin got better because it was a 5, and I think it dropped to a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, his offense got a significant bump.
Yeah, he had 2 downs on level 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very slight upgrade, though. Very slight upgrade.
Yep. And so I said he moved from a 1 point to a 2 point.
Mm-hmm. There's barely much difference here. He lost some tags on his defense. 1 on each level, actually. He picked up a hurt on level 1 defense. He has 2 hurts on level 1. That's pretty bad. Yeah, his defense dropped, except for his pin rating went down.
Oh, okay.
He has 3 downs on his card on level 3 defense. On his Unman card, and the Reptilo card just had 2. Interesting. Very interesting.
You have any interesting storylines for you?
No, like I said, he was one of those guys that in this era, I kind of was speeding through, which is more reason why I kind of want to reboot.
I'm telling you, reboot, but do the what do you call it? Use
Online.
Online.
Yeah.
Maybe do what Jim said. Just take a couple matches each card. So do your title matches or something. Roll them.
Yeah, that could be doable. That way I don't have to know where all the cards are at all times too.
Yep.
There are definite benefits to online, but this is always a tabletop game for me. Always will be.
And how would you improve Serpent Unman?
I would give him a second finisher option. Maybe the strangulation without the disqualification, where he doesn't do it using the ropes. Because I looked up what it was. It sounded like almost like the tarantula, sort of.
So either have it like a 0/+2, kind of like.
Yeah, if you want to do it the illegal way, it's a +2. But if you don't want to risk DQ, it's just a 0.
Yeah, like who is it? Acid rain or something like that.
Yeah.
You have the +4 or the 0.
That way, he still has a finisher that you don't have to worry about getting DQ'd on.
No, that's not a bad one. I might. I almost want to improve his. He's got 3 downs and a pin still.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd get rid of one of those downs again.
Okay. Yeah. That would give him a pretty good bump too.
Yep.
Because that 4 chances of giving somebody another roll or pinning or giving them another roll in level 3 is rough.
Yeah.
So usually when you would see that, they would have a lower pin.
Yeah, but he's got 4 and 4.
Yeah.
4 down with a 4 pin.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we can switch gears.
All right. Tendron the Destroyer here. Boom.
Or let's see this. Here's my Tendron.
Oh, nice.
Boom, the original.
Very cool.
With even the the notes.
What does it say?
It says clean up bottom, reduced to a bit smaller than the others, same reduction as the Matador.
That's probably for the printer.
Yep.
Nice. I got excited for this character because, like I've mentioned before, I was all excited to see alien type characters in the game.
Yeah.
As Champions of the Galaxy, I'd like to see more aliens.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Tendron right out of the gate.
Yeah, me too. I liked him.
He's
Wasn't
another
very
guy,
good.
yeah, he's another guy who had the 5-pin though.
But he only had one down on his card.
Yeah. So he had the same as Mad Jester.
So they counted each other out, but looking at his card, he's pretty tough.
Yeah, double finisher.
Double finisher. There's zeros, but still.
And I think it was a -3 strength, like +3 agility.
That is correct.
God, why do I know this stuff?
Because it's Tendron. I remember Sam did an updated Tendron card, Tendron the Terminator, I think he called him.
Yeah, I have that card somewhere.
Yeah, I liked him. I'm going to read about the scalp transplant thing that he went through.
Yeah, for Tendron, he had a big story arc with me. I had the who was it? I had Proteus and Man Mountain turned heel.
Okay.
And they joined Tendron. Because Tendron was getting left out because, the whole alien core thing. So he joined Proteus and Man Mountain as the lynch mob.
Okay.
And I made them like the Freebirds. So you didn't know who you were going to face.
Okay. That's cool.
And they captured the Intergalaxian tag title. So it was probably Proteus and Tendron that did it.
Okay.
Because I can't see Man Mountain being part of any tag team that captured gold.
With him, if you put him and Tendron together, how do you knock them down?
Yeah.
Total 2 downs on their cards. Never leave their feet. Yeah, apparently he was injured in the shootout where the Doomsayer was captured. And so he had to have a scalp transplant. And those tentacles are attracted to moisture.
Yeah, so they smother you.
So that's the story of his cool head.
No. I thought that was the whole Medusa thing. I thought was cool, like
Yeah.
a man Medusa.
He looked cool.
I remember because I used to color my guys, and he wore orange
prison jumpsuit. Yep. Yeah, he's definitely one of the cooler and more interesting looking characters for sure.
Yeah. And he lasted for me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
Okay. And
out of those 10 years, he was 3 and 7 in his feuds.
Which is surprising because his card is not that bad looking at it.
Yeah. He beat Lance Atlas in his first year.
Wow.
Lost to Octagon, beat Proteus. And then lost to Octagon again, lost to Pulsar Prime, lost to Pulsar Prime, lost to Justice, lost to Death's Head. Beat Iron Man.
That's impressive.
And then lost to a bootleg card, Caligula.
Okay.
Who was in the Greek area.
That was a Kevin Butcher creation, wasn't it?
Might have been, yeah.
I think so.
So I did use it.
Very cool.
Like I said, he captured one title. He had a kind of a neat story arc, teaming up with Proteus and Man Mountain. It only lasted a year.
Yeah, he kind of was all over the place in his official storyline. He was a member of the Galactic Rebels from 2090 to 2092. Then he went to Devil's Pact in 2093, went back to the Galactic Rebels in 2094 and 95, and then he went to Entropy to finish his career as a bodyguard. So he wasn't around very long. He was only in the GWF from 2091 to 2099, and he was not there in 96 and 97. So
I think I even had him as a good guy at one point because he was shooting Death's Head.
okay.
So I think that was just one of those weird things where I probably didn't know where to fit him in.
Yeah.
What do I
Yeah,
do?
he's just one of those guys.
Well, he's going to be randomly, he's going to be like Kevin Sullivan for a year where people like, Kevin Sullivan's a good guy? Okay, weird, but we'll cheer for him.
And that was just so he could turn on Hulk Hogan. As everyone should.
So that's what we ended up doing with him.
Nice. Yeah, he didn't. I don't remember him doing anything for me. Like I said, those years were very, very quick.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys that just got lost in the shuffle. As much as I liked his look, just didn't really do much with him.
And how would you improve good old Tendron?
I would balance him out by adding another down to his defense and dropping his pin to a 6-3.
Yeah, that's one way of doing it.
It's not really a big improvement, but it balances it still.
I might take his agility and drop it to like a +1 or a 0.
Okay.
Make him like a big boss man. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
Move.
What is his official weight here? Height and weight. He's 5'10", 270. So that's a pretty big dude.
I had him 6'6", 285.
He's short, but he's thick.
He just looks big in his picture.
He does. Looks like a chubby guy. Yeah, some of these heights and weights just make me laugh. Way to look at the Serpent Unman here. Go back to him real quick.
I had him a little taller than Reptillo. I had him slowly growing.
He actually went the other way. Reptillo was 6 foot. The Serpent Unman was 5'10".
Yeah, but he stood straight up.
Reptillo was 223 pounds. Serpent Unman was 198 pounds. So it made him more like snake-like, I guess. Slimmed him down. But yeah. And then his Doomsday Creature is 6'5.5", 350 pounds. I do like how they, like, in his... I just put it away. Reptillo, he has the whole nice, like, superhero costume. Serpent Unman, and, like, he's missing a sleeve. It has a couple holes in it. And then Doomsday Creature, it's just, like, shreds of the costume, like, hanging off his arms. It's kind of cool, the progression of that. But they kept that going throughout the changes.
So we'll skip to our topic of the week.
All righty.
Which goes into the personal thing. And what other games do we play? Both, video games, board games, on your own or with people?
I haven't played since COVID, but I was a big Pokemon TCG player. I'm actually a certified Pokemon professor and can run paid Pokemon tournaments in the United States.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I am about 3 years behind on the rules now. But yeah, I was a big Pokemon player for years and years. I played HeroClix for a long time, but I kind of got out of that because they just kept making too much stuff.
Yep.
Kind of forced me out financially because they were set every month and a half, it felt like.
Yeah, I was big into HeroClix. It's funny, when it started off, I told my wife, I'm just going to buy DC.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh, get this Marvel pack. And, oh, look, they're coming out with, independent stuff and stuff from England and
Mm-hmm.
2000 AD. I can get Judge Dredd stuff. Okay, I'll get that. And oh, Hellboy. Okay, sure. But I want all the Hulk guys too. I'm a big Hulk fan. Oh,
Yep.
look at this Ghost Rider. He looks cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that they make everything now. I heard there's an Orville set. Someone told me that.
Yes, there was. I got the Star Trek set with the men
Mm-hmm.
and the spaceships.
The spaceships were fun to play with the superhero.
Oh yeah, we
I did it.
Yep. And
Why not?
I had Lord of the Rings.
The Lord of the Rings ones were great.
Yeah, the Gears of War guys.
Mm-hmm. Iron Maiden.
They had a Pokemon.
Did they?
Pokemon. Yeah, they did a Pokemon HeroClix set.
Oh, I missed that altogether.
Yep.
That's a bummer.
Money
saved.
And they did one with a video game, BioShock.
Yeah, I had those ones.
Yeah, and I finally and a friend of mine bought a box of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I got the first 2 sets of those. I did pretty well. I got
Yeah.
all 4 of the black and white turtles. I was excited for that.
That's what he did.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the last thing he bought. And then I managed to sell all mine to a guy in Ottawa. I kept probably about 200 back.
Yeah.
Because at one point I had, I used to play BattleTech a lot, and I worked at a place that made all the miniatures. So I had probably about 200 BattleTech miniatures unpainted.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys, his name was Glenn. He goes, "I'll trade you all your unpainted BattleTech miniatures for all my HeroClix." And he counted them up. He had 1,200 HeroClix.
Wow.
Including rares, ultra rares. And he goes, all yours for all your, because the miniatures were like $10 a piece.
Oh yeah.
For the BattleTech stuff, because they were, the big lead ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like first, we made this big massive trade, and I remember coming home with this big box. My wife's like, "What are you doing with that? I mean, how much did that cost you?" Like,
were those the Raw Partha ones?
Yeah,
those were so nice.
And I probably have about 30 of those left over that are painted. He didn't want my painted ones.
Mm. Yeah, I gave all mine to my brother-in-law. I found them not too long ago.
And I'll still play BattleTech every so often, but I play mostly X-Wing.
Okay. Yeah, I play. I'm trying to think. We did a lot of party games. Have you ever heard the game Code Words?
Yep.
Or Code Names, I think it's called. I forget what it is, but you can say one word and try and describe certain words on the table, and you have to avoid certain cards.
Yeah, there'll be like 25 words down.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, we play that a lot.
That game's fun. I have the Disney version. My sister got it for me as well. It's fun.
We played it one time at a party. Not a party, like a friend of mine, Rob Nadon.
Mm-hmm.
He has it, and he'll have board game night. So he'll invite 20 people over, and we're playing different board games throughout his house.
Mm-hmm. We used to do that before we had kids.
and I remember playing. And so the one time I looked and I went, Oppenheimer for 4. And there's one guy, he's like, Germany, scientist, nuclear. And I think the other one was bomb or something like that. And he's like, and everybody else is like, how the hell did you get all that? And I'm like, I was hoping there was somebody smart.
That game's tough.
Oh yeah. So sometimes you look at it and you're like, I don't.
It's caused a lot of fights at our tabletop nights.
I have the Marvel version.
I haven't played that one.
And my friends get so mad because I'll give a clue, and for me it's an easy clue, and they're like, what are you talking about? Because I'm thinking of something that can link all these different characters,
mm-hmm.
and they're not getting it.
Yeah. My friend Tank will never live down his hockey shoes. He was trying to lead to helmet, and he said hockey too, and it was helmet, and the other one he was trying to get to was shoes. So now we just call them hockey shoes because made no sense.
Yeah, for X-Wing, I play at a store, and we have Star Wars Wednesdays. So I'll play.
Okay.
I go down there, and we play X-Wing, or we'll play Armada, or some of the guys now are playing Legion. But it's all the Star Wars base games.
Mm-hmm.
And I created and developed a ranking system for Canada to rank all the tournaments. So I have all these people sending me tournament results from all across Canada, all the different stores.
Lucky you.
And I ended up number 7th ranked player in Canada.
Wow.
Now I call it the unofficial rankings.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened with the game? The game went from an overhaul, and this becomes a touchy subject with people. So the game was bought by not bought, but I think called Fantasy Flight Game owned it, and they own smaller companies.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the smaller companies is Atomic Mass Games, and they make Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Okay.
Which, from what I understand, it's a lot of fun, but I don't play it. So they gave the game to these guys to do. And they instantly, the two guys, Pagani and Plummer, one hadn't played X-Wing since 1.0 and one had never played it. And they basically turned it into Marvel Crisis Protocol X-Wing.
Sounds about right. And
they just changed the whole game on its side, and the game plummeted.
That's unfortunate.
I was watching it, and I get tournament results for 2.0. It's called 2.0 and then 2.5.
Okay.
In 2.0, every tournament was anywhere between 10 and 16 people. 2.5, it's anywhere from 4 to 10 people. And there were 6 stores that carried it in our area. Now there's only 2.
Wow.
That carry the product. So they've pretty much killed the game, and the game is split. So you have people that only play 2.0, people that only play 2.5, and so I'm playing a game where you can see the death knell.
Yeah. Yeah. Been there for several games that's happened to.
And recently, my wife's really got into, my daughter showed her the game Villainous, the Disney Villainous.
I've heard of that, but I've never played it.
And so we bought all the set. We haven't got the newest one, but we bought them all, and it's really fun. You can play it in half an hour or something like that. And we have some fun playing that. We used to play Catan a lot.
Yeah, you have to have time for that.
I brought it to a poker night one night, and all of a sudden my friends got addicted to Catan. But they get so competitive. To where guys wouldn't even trade right off the hop with each other. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a miserably fun game.
Yep.
3 games ago, you wouldn't trade me this, so I'm not trading you it now. I'm like, really, guys?
That's a game you have to have the right group, or it is negative fun. Yep. For sure.
And what's happened recently is because I played Dungeons and Dragons. That was the first tabletop game I really kind of got into, and I started playing that in '84.
Yeah,
which is probably before you were born.
No, I was born then. I was 2 though.
Oh, okay.
I'll be 40 this year.
And so we started playing, and I played it constantly. And I loved being the DM, and I just settled into it. And my daughter came home from high school one time. She's like, "I'm going to play D&D at university. I heard it's a good way to, she was kind of bookish."
Yeah.
And liked her anime and stuff. And okay, yeah. And my wife's like, "Oh, you're going to make your dad so happy. He's got tons of stuff." He goes, "Yeah, but all his stuff is 3.0. She goes, "I'm going to be playing 5.0. And my wife's like, "And it's not the same."
Yeah, they're starting to phase out 5th edition now.
And so one time, as COVID started, my daughter's like, "Do you want to DM some 5e stuff for us?" I'm like, "I don't know it." I'm like, "Well, we'll get you the books for your birthday."
Mm-hmm.
So I got like the Dungeon Master Guide, the Player's Handbook, and Monster Manual. And I sat down. I literally read them all over a weekend.
Uh-huh.
Because a lot of them were, the rules are basically the same. There's just a few
They are.
tweaks.
They are. They simplified it.
Yep. I'm like, okay, I got it. And then I'm like, okay, let's get a group of us to play. So my daughter and her fiance, and we talked my wife into playing.
Cool.
Along with 3 of my buddies. And at first my wife, she's like, she wasn't enjoying it. But now she's looking forward. She's like, maybe we can get one of these tables where you can, put the maps on the table and, like the screen.
Yeah. At the beginning of COVID, I went down a big Kickstarter rabbit hole for D&D 5th edition. And I've gotten maybe about 25% of it so far because of all the printing delays, paper shortages, all that stuff. But I backed an Oz campaign setting, a superhero campaign setting, a sci-fi one, all these different things that you could just kind of twist and turn into your D&D games. And yeah, but I haven't played any of it because COVID pretty much killed my game group. So
I created my own while I was during that whole COVID shutdown. And I created a murder mystery.
That's cool.
But I did it like the whole mob thing where you have like a mob boss and all his generals and then his lieutenants and then his sergeants and the foot soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know who killed the king.
Okay.
I have it written out where only one guy's killed the king, but it's the route you take to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you take this route, well, these you've written these guys out of the game because I have other ways, other people are going to take them out. So it's constantly, it's different every time you play it. You can play
That's cool.
Campaign over and over again, and it's always going to be different. And I mixed in things like the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah.
So I had one of the Dark Elves, Jar Axel,
mm-hmm.
from the Forgotten Realms, appear in it just as an NPC.
Nice.
But he helped the players out in exchange for some, information, which is what he deals in.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to give up stuff to get stuff, and
yeah.
And it's not all hack and slash.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of the campaign, and we just finished a 2-week, so 2 different sessions, and they got captured and then had to do a prison break.
Nice.
And one of the guys that they helps them out occasionally is a 250-year-old vampire. He's used by the prince. He was one of the family friends that got converted in the storyline, but he helps out the family because he's kind of a mini mob boss of a town, and they kind of look the other way. But then he does the king's wet works.
Okay. That's cool. You should write that up in a PDF or something.
So, well, we're just running through it. So I'm playing. This is
okay.
And so it's and they're all liking it because it's not a constant hack and slash. Some days they're not even fighting.
Yeah, that gets boring whenever you just fight. Like just go on to the next monster. Yeah, I much prefer the intermingling with NPCs and stuff like that to try and get to a different means to an end.
Yep. And then one of the guys who they thought was their friend was actually a guy, a bad guy who was one of the the lieutenants of the crime boss, and
Mm-hmm.
And then they finally discovered that, because I was leaving clues the whole time.
Yeah.
They clicked in and caught him, and of course you have the big fight, and
that's cool.
And so, and now my wife's, she's into it, and all the other players are, and
cool. When you get your wife into something, you're a golden.
Well, it took a while, but we got her into playing Xbox.
Oh yeah.
Because every so often she liked things like Mario and Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what? You got to play Gears of War with us. He's like, I'm not going to be good at a shooter game. They have beginner right through to master. Because
Mm-hmm.
I play everything on master. My daughter would play the odd game on master, but she'd play elite.
Mm-hmm.
And so we talked her into it, and mostly my daughter did. You know, she kind of ignored me, and my daughter got her into playing it. She liked it. You know, she wasn't good at first, but now she's played some master games. It built up. She got her characters better, and then we got her into Red Dead Redemption 2.
Nice.
And she's like level 200 something in that. She cleared all the characters before I did. All the jobs.
Nice. Yeah, I don't do a lot of video games. I play Pokemon, but that's it. Scarlet and Violet are coming out at the end of the year. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, she played. What's the one on the phone? Was that Pokemon where you throw the ball?
Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She played that for a long time.
Mm-hmm. I kind of abandoned that. I'll open it a lot. I'll open it up every once in a while, but I don't really play much.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have abandoned that, but
yeah, it got repetitive.
There is another game we play. It's a group game called Avalon.
I have played that. That's the medieval counterpart to Resistance, right?
Yeah, or the werewolf one.
Yes. I have Ultimate Werewolf where you could play up to 75 players. And I tried doing it once, and it was the biggest cluster you can imagine. Because everybody had a different rule. There were only like maybe 4 like standard villagers.
Yeah.
But then you had like different types of villagers, and then the poor narrator had to keep track of who was who and why if someone's vote counted twice or something like that. And it was rough. It was really rough. But they did a Kickstarter. I missed it, and I reached out to them like, any way I could get these Kickstarter cards, and they're like, nope. But they did like parodies of a bunch of famous werewolves and wolves and stuff from different things. Like even Fruit Brute had a card. He wouldn't kill anybody. He wouldn't vote to kill anybody during the day was his thing, because he was a pacifist. He was a vegetarian, not a pacifist, a vegetarian.
Yeah, I played it one time at a friend's, and everybody was dead by the first night.
Yep. I remember
you're the werewolf. Kill him.
I even came out and said in a game during the daytime session, I was the seer. And like, I am the seer. I know he's a werewolf. He's a werewolf. They voted to kill me. The werewolves got everybody against me. I was like, and then they still lost. Like they didn't remember that I pointed out who the werewolves were.
No, the first time I played it, I walked in and somebody's like, "Hey, can you take over for me?" And I'm like, I don't know this game. I've never played. I played Avalon 100 times.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
I just sat down and played dumb, but I'm the werewolf. There's only one werewolf in the game. There's only like 6 people or 8 people playing. So, or there's 2 werewolves.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I just played dumb the whole time, so they didn't think it was me.
Yeah.
I ended up being like one of the werewolves.
A good werewolf picks off people who aren't causing a stink during the daytime. Because if you take out the troublemakers, like the people who are accusing everybody, then they can peg you pretty quick. But if you pick out the people who are just kind of along for the ride, one by one, you'll get the numbers eventually, and they'll never know.
It was a lot of fun, though.
I love that game. A friend of mine, Don, who the Biordi card's based on, every time he has a party, he's like, bring that werewolf game. It causes so many fights. It's great.
But like my buddy Rob, he's got so many games. Like I have games like Star Wars Trivial Pursuit.
Mm-hmm.
And I have like Star Wars Monopoly. And I have a lot like Superman Monopoly, Justice League Monopoly. I have so many of the same games type thing.
Yeah.
Pandemic, that's another fun game.
That's a fun one. I have that.
It just popped up on my Facebook memories. Power Grid.
Heard of that, never played it though.
It was fun. Another board game we like playing at Rob's because he's got a lot of board. I have about 10, but he's got about 75.
We have a ton too.
Ticket to Ride.
He's
got like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah. Have you ever played Sorrow, the game of the path?
No.
It's a grid, and you lay down these tiles, and they have lines on them, and you have to connect to a line on the path, and then you put your piece on it, and it follows it all the way to the end of the line, so you can connect with another line, and the idea is just to stay on the board. Okay. So you just follow a line. You drop a tile, and you follow the line that connects to the other on your path. There's 4 paths on every card that you drop, and they all connect. And you can drop a card that sends somebody else off the board. Because if you drop a card that, you have to play off your path. Your path can create a path for somebody else if they're on a connecting tile. It's really fun. And if you intersect with another player, you both are out. Called Sorrow. The T is silent. TSURO, I think. That's how it's spelled. It's fun. I met the creator at a game convention, and he got me hooked on it. It was really a good game. My daughter has one that we played. She'll bring it over sometime. And the board's got like 150 different colors. They're little blocks. And it's like, so it'll be, 1 through 25 over here, and A through Z over here. And then you'll draw a card, and it might have, a red. Then there's like, and it'll tell you on the grid where you are. Okay. But then there'll be like 45 shades of red. Oh. You can only use one word to describe something. And you're like, apple. And then people are like, are apples green? Are they yellow? Are they red? Yep. And you only have 2 chances. So you'll start off with like fire hydrant. Okay, fire hydrant's red. Okay, now. And then you might go apple. Some of our fire hydrants are yellow though. Yep. Oh yeah, but this is what I'm saying, it depending on the person. Yeah, that'd be fun. I'd check that out. I wish I could remember, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of people liked it. It was a good game. Cool. Yeah, I have so many games. I miss playing games. That was one thing that definitely got pushed aside because of the pandemic. Yeah. We had a really good game group that we played with, but just we were all trapped inside, and everybody got into other stuff. And my buddy Rob, he wants to get it back up and going. Once a month, 12 times a year. Yeah, that's what we would do. That's what we would do. We used to have them all the time when we were in our apartment in Pittsburgh, but now that we're in the house and we have kids and everything else, kids just make everything difficult. They do. They really do. One of them's throwing a tantrum right now. I think it's the big one. I think it's Hope, but I can't tell. I got headphones on. That's why I don't know if anyone noticed, but I muted myself a few times. That was when the tantrum was really getting intense. So, yeah, my dad is she's like, Dad, sell all my old toys I don't use. I'm like, okay. Gather up on like 27 Barbies. Yeah, I saw your listing on Facebook Marketplace. Hey, anybody wants? I found them on the Barbies. But the one thing I did pick up for COVID is Lego. Yeah, Lego. I have so much Lego stuff and no room to build it. Yeah. Well, I can build it. I just have to destroy it afterward. I just got a Millennium Falcon. Which one did you get? Not the big one. I got the Lando Millennium Falcon. Nice. I got it for my birthday, and I got the Jedi Starfighter. Because I only build Star Wars Legos. I'm not, okay. Not Harry Potter or Justice League. It's all. I have a few Star Wars ones. I was told I had to switch my focus. I can't buy everything. Yeah. So if it doesn't fit into my Lego city that I eventually want to build, I'm not supposed to buy it. So I still got a lot of Star Wars stuff to build, though. I got the Kessel Run Millennium Falcon from the Solo movie. I got that on clearance. I got a heck of a deal on that. I think I paid $40 for it.
Oh, nice.
On Amazon. It was like 160, I think, originally.
And I got all my Lego men lined up, and I got a little Brockster Comics guy in there.
Yes.
He's mixing. He's repairing an A-wing.
Oh, there you go. I got all my monochromatic ones right here, actually. My monochromatic BrocsterBuilds, guys.
He fits in great.
I'll show them off. A couple of them, at least. I don't want to be ridiculous, but here's my monochromatic orange, custom printed head and torso. I got a medium lavender. I don't know why I think those are cool, the monochromatic ones, but that's something I've always liked.
Yeah, I got a guy with
green,
yellow head, the blue shirt.
Yeah, I put together guys that were all the gray. I got like 30 different ones here that are. I put them on my Twitch stream. If somebody donate or gifts 5 subs, I put them in one of those display cases that holds 16. It's out of reach, or I'd show that, but they get to pick what color, and I throw them in there.
And
put their name on a display base.
And before we go, we have some artwork we can show the folks.
Yeah, let's show this off. Boom. There we go. The Power Creeper. And who's this other guy with them?
Looks like Vanity.
And what are they doing hanging out?
The story you will find out soon.
Soon. Very soon. But yeah. It's co-created with the Butchers and artwork by Paul Barnes. Yeah. Stay tuned for that. There'll be details coming very soon. I don't know how soon, but soonish. Before the end of the year, I'd say.
Yeah, we're getting that slow build to it.
Mm-hmm. For sure. That's all you get now.
Yeah. He'll be first available on the Twitch stream.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, and we'll figure out how we're going to distribute from there. See how many of these we should make. We'll have to talk about that.
Yep.
We'll see how many comments we get and how much interest is there. Cool.
Okay.
All right, I guess we could put a bow on this one. Thank you all for watching, listening, however you partake in this little project. Please check out the links below. You'll find several podcasts, YouTube channels, all that fun stuff. We have the official Filsinger Games podcast, Roll Up, the Legends teams, Uncharted Territory. I drew a blank there for a second. Lee Longpre's Dizzy Dice. I need to add his YouTube channel as well. Grant's YouTube channel, solo promoter. Dave Little's YouTube. Myself on Twitch. And there's a few other things on there. And as always, if anybody else out there has any Filsinger Games related content, please share it with one of us and we'll make sure it gets into our description so we could share the word and get it out there for everybody.
Yes.
Yep. All right. So yeah, I don't have anything else. So
no.
Awesome. Have fun, play games, and have a good night, everybody.
Good night, Denmark.
There you go. Good night, Ontario.